Oh wait, no, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. What day is it today? Today's not the 11th. Today's the 12th. I keep forgetting. Cause so you know how yesterday's stream was technically private, and so I never really changed the title on my YouTube one, and so like, oh, just looking at my slippers. Never mind. We'll do this live. It's okay. So because I never said it, I never streamed really to YouTube yesterday. It was still sitting at June 10th, so I just incremented that by one, and then just started without completely without thinking about it. And then I started that, and I didn't start Twitch. Oh, it's all one giant cluster. Um, but it there is a very good reason. Uh, there's absolutely very good reason for that. Um, today I got what I feel like was a flame, which is really nice. Like I usually don't get flamed on the internet, right? So it's like so it's like it's just kind of nice to know that that people are passionate about the stuff that I do, because I mean, yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo. Yes, you're absolutely right. Anyway, yes, exactly. There's nothing wrong with being weird. Being weird is great. We're not gonna do that. Can you imagine? No, we're gonna play with 4 stones, 5 stones. If I win with 5 stones on my first try, then yes, okay, then we'll go down to 4 stones, and then we'll just keep going until we lose, and then we'll just keep playing until we win, and then we'll just keep going from there. I think that makes sense. Yeah. So you guys know I published that those stories and fan fictions, etc., etc. Yeah. I publish on one of these sites called. Actually, I'm not even gonna call it out. It's fine. Uh, and it, I think it's supposed to be known for being quite, like, people there are very straight to the point, and very very, if not combative, then opinionated. Let's go with opinionated. And I mean, for the longest time, that wasn't the feeling that I got, because nobody really, like if you look at some of their comments, or signatures, forum signatures, right? Like, if you look at some of their signatures and stuff, it would always be like, oh, like someone was proud of being called a douchebag or something like that, or worse potentially. But it never felt like that for me. So it had always been like this weird, like, cognitive dissonance, where these people are supposed to be really to the point and direct, and be mean about stuff, but then they never were, right? Like, I mean, they weren't particularly nice, but I wouldn't expect them to be particularly nice either, right? So it just ended up, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, why is it not telling? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, this is a very safe move. I didn't really need to make this move. Uh, but we can do something like this, because these guys reinforce so very well, and that means this is very safe, right? So yeah. Anyway, so back to the story. I never considered myself, a very very nice, or no, I consider myself a very nice person, and so therefore I never really considered it. Um, I or rather, um, I guess some of the original comments could be construed if you really thought really hard. You could think, oh, like this person is trying to be mean about something. But that was never really what I read into it. So it was just like, you know, it's fine. Like I'm perfectly happy with that. And so and so like with these people, of course, like then well, things settled a little bit. My writing wasn't particularly brilliant or very it didn't set anyone's pants on fire. So like, you know, after a while nobody really commented anymore, and so it was only recently when someone said some very interesting, like I'm sure he had his own points and everything, that you know, I felt that love, that passion. Well, it's true, right? Like, and yes, I realize I did exactly the same thing because again, what we're doing here is we're playing for safety first. I want to create these powerful areas that white just does not have an ability to get into, and by doing so I hope to win in sort of that way, right? Because we're still 5 stones ahead, and 5 stones is a lot. 5 stones is genuinely a lot, right? So yeah, we'll continue. You know they say like 1 stone is equal to 1D in terms of level, but I don't believe that. Like to me at least, 1 stone is almost like 2 levels, just because of how crap I think I am. And how predictable I guess the AI itself is, right? Because I'm going to do this, the AI is going to do that, and this time I'm not going to do something like this, right? I'm going to play down here and try to fortify my position, or maybe I wonder if there's a better way to fortify my position. Yeah, maybe this time we should do this. No, then they'll go here, and that'll be 1 giant flap. So we'll do this. Well, I mean, if it sounds like that, I'm very happy to get, you know, like sworn at. No, well, obviously not. That's not the case. It's just that I like the fact that there is passion, right? Like, obviously, don't. It's not nice to use bad words when it's just like I don't think it's necessary. Oh, that's probably not. One, 2, 3, and then that'll be yeah, we'll do this. Just to be on the safe side. Because, you see, the point of me playing this very thick means that this area is now very black, right? Like, you if you look at it, you like squint and let each stone. Oh fuck. Okay, so what would have happened if I had gone here? It would still have played this move, I believe. Like, yeah, so if you squint and you let each stone. Oh, you wouldn't. Are you gonna carve that off? So does that mean 28 was a bad move? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think 28 was the bad move. Let's see what 35 goes. Yeah, 35 does this. Yeah, so I think 28 was actually the bad move. So let's go back to 28. And instead we'll do 1 more. And so if white then proceeds down 29 here, I think, no, yeah, okay. So that's the point of that particular formation. Like, 2 stones, it's harder to defend, but 3 stones makes it basically impermeable. And you can see why, right? Like, we vacillated on here for quite a few moves. Yeah, exactly. exactly. Like we did these things. Can you see my mouse? You can, right? Just you can see my mouse. Yeah, okay. So 30, 31. We did lose tempo in this case. Actually, I don't think we ever really had tempo, so it doesn't really matter. In this case, I will fortify this. I'll. There's no point, right? Like, I'm okay with this because this is huge. In some ways, I feel like this is actually an easier position with black at the center star than original. Oh. Oh. Oh, hello? Ah. Exactly. Speak of the devil, eh? So the point I think with 33 is both to attack in this direction, but also to reduce this area, right? Essentially, the idea being that, yeah, you see, by moving in this interesting direction and trying to take this, oh, probably. Hmm. That's an interesting call. I wonder if there was a better way of handling that. Right, because now 34 is definitely gone, and I have nothing down. Like the best I can do is something like, I don't actually have anything, right? So perhaps on 33 I should have played something a little bit more conservative like this. Right? Like don't go directly into the attack and let them try to let white try to overextend itself in a way. Oh, why is that move still selected? Okay, there we go. 33, 34, 35. So obviously the point is to cut this off. What is my plan? Because I could choose not to let them by play here or here. Or I could play something here which will, do some, essentially say I'm gonna give you this stuff, but I'll take this corner. But I think losing these stones is technically more harmful to me right now than if I were to take half of this corner. Because losing these stones, actually, I mean, would I lose these stones? I don't think I'd lose these stones, but like, let's try it. Right, so the idea here is, yes, you're attacking these stones, but I'm also going to attack these two and force you to take these, and in that case, try to sneak into this corner. Right, so white does that. I could play here next, or I could play something like this in an attempt to push through there, I think. White might play 39, 40, 41. No, okay. So by essentially creating this wall, I am generating territory here, I'm generating territory here, and then one more move along this line will cut this off from getting in there, but I am giving up these 3 stones, right? So it's exactly like we've predicted. Something, this is going to be a very slow move, but I think something like this. Or? No. I think this is bigger because this actually consolidates this area, whereas this kind of attack down here is very still susceptible to a 3-3. Well, susceptible is a bad word, but like it still makes the 3-3 a little bit more difficult. So 43, I would do something like just straight up 44 here. Okay, it has reconnected. Excellent. Yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it. So again, the point of this is to cut this corner and reduce this size, right? So if we do something like this, I think we should be okay, simply because these two stones are doubled up. If this were a single stone and then it cut through and I did this, then we would have the same problem as we would have up here, but luckily we don't, so we shouldn't. Oh, hello. Should have done one more move before I hopped. You're right. I don't recognize many of these formations, and that's sort of why we're playing this game like this, because well, I mean, to gain experience, you need to play, right? And what better way of wasting everyone's time than to play a game that basically nobody's interested in except for me? Right? Like, oh, it's gonna come down into this area. It's gonna do a hop, probably, because I've done this exact move before, actually. So yeah, well, the back here wasn't the same, but this was exactly the same. You do that, and then you, oh, okay, you I guess, and then here, I would assume that leads to that leads to some sort of, or maybe here actually. J10. I think that's, oh, no? 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 Let's just make sure we're safe. Because this is a big place. This is a big place. I don't think white can win in this situation. I really don't. Like, once I have this corner or this center, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna... Oh, yes you are. Maybe I should have gone in this direction for 58. So instead of taking this stone, right? So now what they're... Actually, what are they gonna do? Because they can't dragon me, because then I just do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, like at any one point I could take 57, so there's no way. What you can do is you can try to lock me into this area, like white has just done. But because 42 is here, I don't see a way for our friends to make a dent in this territory that had already, exactly, right? That I had already decided would be this territory. So of course white now has this nice line here that's going to make my expansion in this area difficult, and that's why 63 is here, and white can try to make itself at home there. So we should do something about that. And as we've already seen last time, when you get attacked, it's painfully difficult to like not lose territory. But in this case, you see, there's a white wall here, there's a white wall here, and so this area is very, very is very, very already enclosed, right? Like white really only needs this portion to enclose it. So we need to go either very deep or very shallow to try to compress it from the outside. And I think I'm going with, oh, why don't we try both, right? Like, why don't we just do something like this? Go crazy. Why do I play at the stars? The stars are interesting in that they are geometrically interesting, because technically, if you look at this game, right, it is a very geometric game. White does this because obviously, like, it wants to cut these two stones off. Like, if white can gain this corner while losing this center, it's not ideal, but it's also not the end of the world, right? So what will I do? There is a potential for a break here, and that will get me tempo at one point in the future. What if we just did this? Right, like, I don't know if it comes across to someone who hasn't really got, like, spent basically, you know, all of their life just be thinking about this game, 66, 67. But this looks very pretty to me, even though I can't really appreciate, and I don't have the in-depth knowledge to play at a very high level. Pretty formations are pretty formations, and pretty formations remain, you know, very, very interesting to me. And so you see, white is attempting to cut this off. I'm of course going to fight that. I assume white is gonna no, N7. Yeah, okay, N7. So it's gonna race me down here because it knows it can cut me off at any time. Right, so it doesn't matter if we play either of these. White will be able to play the other location and just cut these two formations off. The reason why I push down is actually maybe I shouldn't have. Well, let's play this through and think about what we can do. For example, if I want these stones to survive right now, they need to go somewhere. They either need to go somewhere or they need to establish a foundation, right? So, for example, we could do something like this to threaten a break in this direction. Of course, we don't have the two black stones here. If we did, that would have made this a lot better. Yeah. Because, see, if black did anything here, my next move would have been down here by 70, like here. And then I would have had a nice start to a foundation. But unfortunately, I don't. So 7-2, I think, is not the right move. What if we did that? Force a piece here, because otherwise this creates a break that is very difficult to fix. And then turn left downwards like this. Turn left downwards like this. And then attempt to create some amount of space on this end. But the problem is there's no real weakness on this end. And so that makes it difficult to... Yeah, I see, that's why 75 is up here. But we do have the benefit of now 74 being able to do this. And while this doesn't let us escape per se, these types of formations are you see, we're creating the very first eye-like structure. And so by threatening to run away, 77 does something like this. And then I do something like this first. That'll invite some amount of move down here, I would imagine. F1. F1 looks like it's here. Oof. F1, that would threaten this. So we do that. They'll probably follow along. I can do that. No. That, and then I can do something like this to generate the formations necessary to create a safe structure. $33. 33. So you mean like, will they be able to do something here? Potentially. Yeah. Yeah. They could very well do something there. But that doesn't bother me so much because we have, 34 and 18. So there's there is stuff they can do, but it's not H3. H3 is here, isn't it? No, it's here. Here. Yeah. No, we shouldn't have played 84. I think this is the prudent move. And then here, just to create enough safety so that we can live, right? Yeah, that's the problem. White also knows that that's what I want to do. Let's see. If someone had played this, yeah, someone who's intimately familiar with this game and knows and has played it every day of their life, yeah, they would know how to deal with this kind of situation a little bit better than I would. Absolutely, 100%. I do not doubt that for a moment. But obviously, I'm not that kind of person. Well, I mean, obviously you're here not just because of any of this, you're here for my winning personality, right? 89 is up there, and that is actually expected because I was thinking up here next. So if we do something like this, you see here we generate another tightly so this is completely gone, just to make sure we understand. This is it's not that they're taken, but I don't have any opportunity of putting anything here. It feels like I don't have any opportunity here either, which means all of this will just die. Oh, look at that. That should tell us enough. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, okay, let's not, eh? I feel like this move was the initial bad move. So let's say if we go there, what happens? Because now it's completely different. I'm accepting a little bit of weakness on this end to connect these portions. Black thinks it has a 6% chance of it. That is preposterous. Oh yeah, of course. What the f- do that? Well, I mean, yeah, that's just stupidity on my end, right? Like, like if I placed 70 here, then 71 would connect this, and then suddenly this would eat into that territory. So that's not what we should be aiming at. 61, 62. So let's go back to this move, because this is where we first started, where I talked about I could either go low or I could go higher simply to compress, right? And here we are going to, because we have attempted the compression. Oh, not that one. Not that one. We have come all the way down to this end and found that yeah, it was very much to White's liking to do that. So 61, 2, 63. This might still be the thing, but it might be 16-8 at this point, eh? Let's see, 16-8. Is this the point that you're talking about, or the other 16? 16, 8. So like here. This would be. This would be It does still suffer from the same problem of trying to reach this corner, but now because it's much close. Oh, the first. So up here. Sorry, just double checking. You mean this point? I am talking to a Twitch viewer. Yeah, this point I think is a little bit slow. So simply because we're this area in the top right, we can consider that fairly well, how do we say, fairly well defended. So if you look carefully, even without 16-8 like this, even without this move, there's very little that white can do in this spot. Like if white were to play somewhere directly in the middle, I would just kill it off by attacking it from all sides, right? Because it's so close to black that in the moves that white has available, it wouldn't be able to really generate a living formation like I tried down here, right? So notice that we actually had much bigger area to play with than white would have had up here. So even someone as crappy as I would be able to defeat, a modern supercomputer, because there's just not enough room to maneuver up there, if that makes sense. I do like this move though. I do like this move because it is close. No worries. I'm happy to explain these things. I do like these moves. It is a little bit more combative, right? So with this move, we are essentially going to go directly into a fight. I don't think I can play this in a way that would really do it justice, though, right? Because here what we're essentially saying is I'm going to just fight you, right? Like there's going to be a cut here, and then I'm gonna have a cut here, and then we'll see if there's anything that they could do, that white can do, to stop me from linking these guys together. So I would do something like this. Going southwards in this case is actually also beneficial for me in claiming this corner. So if white reinforces 67, I will simply play something here. If white takes that, I will do this. Right, essentially we're trying to force white into very, very inefficient moves so that we can, like, even if I were to give this location up, I have already consolidated my position on this corner that I can live, right? So right now, even if white does something, like down here, this is a nice formation that I could then play something at 310 that would give me this position, like they've done here. So I would do this, white does that. I play, if white takes 68, I would play up here. And suddenly this position is very, very powerful because yes, I've given up half a corner, but I've also made white be very, very inefficient at doing what it's doing. White of course didn't choose that, so we will do this. Oh no. And this is what I meant by I don't think I can do this position justice, because 77 is gonna come down on this, yeah, exactly, on this end, and that'll separate this out. I am being laughed at on the Discord because of my inability to play this position. So just don't worry about it. It's got nothing to do with our Twitch or YouTube viewers. It's the Discord group being completely mean to me. Let's see. No, I don't think I can play this position with much confidence, because this would take that, which would threaten all of these moves. If we were to back it up a little bit and go to here, if instead of 74, I played this as 74, I wonder what would change. I would assume something like 75 still. Ooh, look at that. The engine thinks there's a 13% chance of winning. Where's 75? Ah, okay. So the engine doesn't even care anymore. It thinks it's got this. There's a block. They can try something here in the future, but with 57, me taking 57, that would just be the end of it. But forcing 77 like this is actually kind of important, or not forcing, but like essentially they lead me into forcing them to play 77, which is actually good for white in this case because it really consolidates this central area. Maybe we should do something like that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's not good. No. Let's. This is the worst kind of save scumming, but this is how we learn, right? For something as complex as this, yeah, I would say that this is how I learn. So here again we come into this interesting proposition for white, which is they'll let me have this if I let them have the center. And I'm actually inclined to agree to that by doing this. Sure, white can turn into the left and then force me to go down along this route, but this area is safe and is territory. This area is safe-ish. This area is definitely safe. There's enough room down here for me to do stuff. 1, 2, 3. Oh. D6, yeah. See, I guessed it right after I played that. So 80 then is a little bit early, just like what happened up here. We needed one extra stone to make sure that this remains safe, but this one extra stone means that it's very, very slow. And so now white can do, instead of playing, something here, white can play something down here and completely just disrupt my my territory. Of course, white can also prove me stupid and say, you know what, it prefers this central part. And I mean, you can kind of see why, right? Like, because black 80 was a direct threat into this 13th line. So by holding me off, white is just solving its own future problems. But of course, this means I can take that. And I don't think there's much white can do about this now. So like this, I mean, they'll push me down in this direction, they'll push me down in this direction, and they'll push in this direction. And I think white will attempt to make some amount of work happen up here in the 7 and 8 file. But that's about it. White has a win percentage of 80%. Oh yeah. So what happens is they're gonna do this, and then these two stones are forfeit because I have to play here, and then there's going to be an attack into the 11th file. Oh, what did I do? I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, they're gonna make me do this. So it's forcing white to take this, but that's actually a good thing. 89%. Oh my God. D18. White thinks the best I can do is D18. Or the engine thinks that. Let's put it that way. Okay, so obviously that wasn't. I think 64 is probably not. I'm not doing 64 justice. I want to see what the engine thinks this will. Now is the best place to play. Really? The engine is much nicer than I am. So it's played this particular position 2,000 times, and it thinks that by forcing yes. Oh, sorry. By forcing a cutoff along that line, I'm making white choose between the bottom here and up here, right? But also by playing in this direction, what is it doing? Okay, so the same thing. I'm asking it to choose, but I'm also asking it to but that's weird, because this move at 98. Oh, okay, so these moves essentially all come down to us doing this. I'm gonna turn this off now so that we don't cheat too hard. Yeah, so I cheated. What are you gonna do? I mean, actually, I'm okay with that. I'll have a drink. But we had our drinks yesterday, so I'll have a drink next time. Or tomorrow. Yes, because we are technically doing military work tomorrow, yes. Well, streaming a military related thing. I'm going to make the new military question instead. Yeah. I think 69, yeah. And let us just appreciate the difference between this kind of position where suddenly these two stones are in danger, and these kinds of positions where I'm just dead, and where white has consolidated such a huge territory, right? So, oopsie-daisy. The conservative thing to do right now would probably be something along this line to preserve our advantage. Oh, it's not it. There was a better way. Probably something down here then. But this way I am playing it very safe by essentially locking away these two stones and threatening to I assume what this means is that white can consolidate down here, which I'm happy actually to let it do, because I don't want to win by... It's not that I don't want to win by too much, it's that I want to win safely, I think. And I think at least 72 is safer. Has white played 73? Max depth. Hello? Play C3. Oh, you have played 73. Okay. So then there is that trade-off we were talking about before, where if I compress this area, I will lose this corner. But if we play something like this and compress it even more, we will obviously lose this corner even more. Oh, it's giving white a lot more room to play with. Right, yeah, we will lose this corner even more, but we can still run away. Right, and the idea is, yeah, have the corner. I don't care. I am dramatically ahead in terms of total position, right? Because we started with 5 stones in each corner and 1 in the center. And, you know, like, it's fine. Have it. Like, the white 77, all it does is prevent me from connecting these two. But it doesn't really stop me from compressing white territory along this line, right? As long as I can run away, like this, hopefully like towards this area, I'm sure that they're going to try something along those lines, like that, yeah. As long as I can run away fast enough, then it doesn't matter. Of course, there's going to be a battle on this end. Oh, 12%. Yeah, like the idea is still that we want to run away, so we are going to run away. And, you know, as long as we reach safety, we're fine. Yeah, actually that's a good comparison, because it really is about let's see. How can we run away? It really is about, you know, like a retreating position in this case, right? And it is very much a military analogy. I completely agree with that, because that is, oh, I don't think that's the right, the engine doesn't think that's the right move. Let's retreat back up to here, perhaps. Yeah, to here. I want to see what the engine thinks. Just I know I probably shouldn't have, but yes, I want to see what the engine thinks. And the engine, oh wow, okay. The engine does think. Interesting. So, just by a little bit, it thinks this. Why does it think this? Huh. So perhaps our running away strategy wasn't. There was too much distance to cover, I think. Yeah. Oh no. Wait. What? Oh no. It's white's turn. It's black's turn. Yes. So the engine doesn't think compressing this matters as much as compressing this. And I think in terms of local advantage, it's probably right. I am not sure about the global advantage of it, though. Because yes, obviously I'm forcing white to reinforce down here, and I'm creating, and I'm using very normal movements to create, you know, space for myself so that I can live. But it feels, well, I guess no. I mean, right? White dude does that. What am I gonna do? I still have to. I wonder what would have happened if I had done this, because then obviously white can't play into this, because it would be immediately under attack. It would go into the fight under attack. I think this is a more prudent position. Yeah. So we would do this. And I assume white will do something up here, which will give me a chance to consolidate this position. k6. No, it won't. So instead, if we had gone here, white is gonna win even harder. What? Oh yeah, k6. Okay. I removed that temptation, but again, it becomes a trade-off, so I can only... Whereas before I could have compressed white's territory down here a lot more, now I can... It's much... Oh. Hello? Oh. This is like speed chess all over again. I never really look for the immediate danger when it happens. But yeah, the point is, because of this entire thing was essentially dead. So by placing 80 here, you know, we're doing this thing, and now there's going to be a little bit of a fight in here, where white would use these stones and this stone to compress my formation down. Right? So it's going to probably 84 is going to be in this direction or in this direction. And what that'll do is force me to connect this, and of course this makes my move very inefficient. 86 will come up here, do something along these lines, and then I think R8 though. I wonder what R8 is. We'll see. Okay, yeah. So that was the difference. Yes, I'm scum. I'm trash because I save scummed this. But I think I learned a lot from this actually. Partially it's just actually, especially down here with move 74, I feel like I learned a lot, because move 74 really taught us, or at least taught me, the need for patience, right? Not just move 74, but also move what is this? Move 64, where we've tried these different positions, but it turns out the best one was here all along, right? I wonder though if, like, what if white had played here, right? Like, what if white had played this? What would the engines have thought then? Let's take a look. Why are you... because white resigned once. It doesn't want to doesn't want to tell me about the game anymore. Estimate. I don't think that's what I want. Let's score. No. Please select dead stones. No, that's not what I want. It? No. That's not it either. Info. No. Toggle group status. So I'm... Oh, I see. So black wins by 66 stones. Right, this is an estimate of the engine thinking what would be considered white and what would be considered black territory. And obviously, you know, it makes sense that this is black because we had just talked about this. Oh, this should be like that. So this is black, that's white, that's white. There's probably some white down here, but that doesn't really change anything. I wonder if I play a move. The most fair Komi is in an even game. I think I'm okay with 5.5 in terms of Komi. Though I think it also depends on the level of the player. The lower the ranking of the player, I think the Komi should be less. Just because lower ranked players tend to tend to either fail catastrophically or be very very even till the end of the game. So like lower level players don't really initiative doesn't count as much towards lower level players as it does for a 9 Dan Pro, right? Because a lower level player is much less likely to recognize a game changing position that they can then take the initiative, take tempo, and then just continuously play it till the end. So yeah, 5.5 if we're at the very top of the range, and then as we go down, I think at like 1D, I would say 3.5 might be a nice Komi, and then further down, 2.5, 1.5, 0.5. But definitely, I think Komi is important because the tempo advantage is very, very important in the game because it dictates a lot of things. It dictates, like, say, let's go back to like the very top, right? It dictates the kind of stuff that where white would go, and it dictates the kind of like since the very beginning of this game, white had been on the advantage because it needed to claw its own position out of. It needed to claw its own like life out of a position. Does that kind of make sense? Is it that high now? Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, higher. But actually, that actually speaks to my point, which is when I was playing, it was 5.5. So I mean that really shows you how long it's been since I last played. And so, hi Paul. And so with the engines being so powerful these days, it really makes a lot of sense that they're pushing Komi higher, right? Because it is so much more like initiative counts for so much more when these things are happening. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, something happened with the engine and it's now very happy. It's very happy to show me the move that I want to make. So we talked about. Oh, is it time to go? Oh yeah, so it is. We're at 57, 58 minutes. Okay, so just real quick then, we'll see how this ends up. So if white had protected itself, it does look like white is now out of moves. So that's why 63 here was the only move that white could have made. Or here. Let's see. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's 0.9 and this is 1%. Both of these are 1%. Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you everyone for. You can stop now. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining me as I'm trying to relearn this game. Yeah. I think, do we have any last minute questions? Excellent. I am purposefully ignoring your question, the questions in the Discord because they are being very. I don't even want to talk about it. You know what? I talked about being flamed at the beginning of this. I should have just accepted that you guys would flame me all the time. Just be done with it. Anyway. My favorite stone material. That's an interesting question. I have a set of what do you call them? In Mandarin, we would call them yunzi. So these are sort of like they're matte stones, but when you hold them up to light, they actually the black stones. Yeah, exactly that stuff. When you hold them up to light, they become green. Those are beautiful. Like I sometimes just hold them up to the light to actually watch them. And the white ones, they have this very light pink sheen to it. They do have a nice weight. I prefer actually. I think I prefer the more Chinese style, which is they're flat on one side and they're domed on the other side, as opposed to the more I think more popular style in Japan, which is that they're round on both sides. Yes, exactly, single convex. Yeah, just they. It feels nicer in hand when I can use two fingers for whatever reason. Right? Because with the double convex stones that they tend to use, it's harder to hold them in two fingers, and I'm so used to holding stones in two fingers that it's just it's nicer. All right, all right, all right. Love the questions. Thank you very much. If you're interested, my friend, tomorrow it's not directly related to Go, but I am running this stream where I talk about just sort of like very random military operations with NATO counters and what happens in certain terrain. I actually make the terrain on the spot. I make the map for the question on the spot and sort of just talk about it that way. But that's tomorrow, probably about the same time as today. So yeah, if you're interested, please drop by. And for the rest of you in the Discord, please no. Perfect. Then yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Perfect. And I'll see the rest of you after the stream, where I will say mean things about you right back to you. But anyway, in conclusion, please don't do Firefox. Please don't do Chrome. Please download Firefox, because Google is a monopoly, right? Right. Have a good night, guys.